Doctors Today. The latest developments in the world of medicine. This program is of special interest to fathers and mothers. Do you worry about a boy who seems to be too small for his age? Are you concerned about a girl who appears to be too thin, too tall, too fat, or too small? Do you have a child who is timid or nervous, a daydreamer, or a bully? Listen for answers to questions that you have about your own children. The American Medical Association, in cooperation with the National Broadcasting Company and its independent affiliated stations, presents Doctors Today, a weekly report on the progress of science and medicine. This week, a report on growth and development patterns. We first hear Dr. William W. Bolton speaking for the American Medical Association. Dr. Bolton.
How much can you fathers and mothers remember about the days when you were children? Can you recall a day in the classroom when you were called upon to recite and everybody laughed at the answer you gave? Children often suffer agonies of embarrassment or a deep feeling of inferiority when for any reason they appear ridiculous in the eyes of their classmates. The world of childhood is a very small world to an adult, but a very big world to a child. Please don't ignore his problems because they seem unimportant to you. These problems will have an effect on his personality that will last a lifetime. If you will take the trouble to discuss and understand your child's problems and to help him with them, you will receive a reward that can't be measured in dollars and cents. Today, let's consider what is to be done about the child who is older than other children of his age. Let's see how Dr. Paul Bronson, a general practitioner, endeavors to solve these problems.
For 10 years, I've had the privilege of serving as a school doctor in addition to my private practice. I think you'll find that most doctors pride themselves on their ability to treat a particular kind of patient. That's why so many doctors prefer to specialize. I'm a general practitioner, but I'll tell you quite frankly that I think my most interesting patients are children between the ages of, well, from about 5 to 14. You've probably heard it said that the entire personality of an individual is largely set by the age of 14. Now, these are the years when parents, educators, and physicians can play a tremendous part in shaping the course of a child's life. Let me give you some examples. I went to an elementary school not long ago for a routine checkup, and here's what an 8th grade teacher said to me.
Well, Dr. Bronson, here's my chart showing the height and weight of the children in my class.
Oh, yes, thanks. Have you selected any that you think I ought to see?
I have 3 in my class. Here's the list. Now, this first boy...
Bill Barnes? I think I know this boy and his family very well. Red hair, blue eyes?
That's right. He's quite a problem in the classroom.
Is that so? And the few times I've seen him, Bill seemed like a very fine youngster. That big smile with all the freckles and those cute little remarks he made.
Oh, yes, I know. Oh, but you ought to see him in class, Doctor. I get so mad at that boy sometimes.
Why?
Oh, he falls out of his seat, or he parades around the room with the slightest excuse. Anything to get a laugh. He wisecracks during recitation. Suppose he's a natural-born comedian, but I get so tired of it. Even though he is really funny sometimes.
It's not easy to keep discipline in a class with a boy like Bill, huh?
It's often impossible.
Well, Miss Clyburn, I understand your problem, and don't you get the idea that I'm not in sympathy with you. Now, let's see. Bill is 51 inches tall, and he weighs 85 pounds. That makes him about the smallest boy in the class, doesn't it?
Yes, he is very small compared to some of the other boys.
Well, the whole family is small-boned and short. Tell you what I think you better do. Send Bill down to see me right now. I think there's a lot we can do for that boy. I checked Miss Clyburn's chart, I found that Bill Barnes actually was the smallest boy in his class. I knew that his parents were below the average height and small-boned. It was quite natural that Bill should be small compared with other boys of his age. Bill was misbehaving in the classroom. He was obviously trying to attract attention to himself. This is so often the case in children who are not realizing their secret ambitions. My job was to find an activity in which Bill could win the approval of his classmates. When he came into my office, he was trying to smile, but I could plainly see that he wasn't a very happy boy.
Hello, Dr. Bronson.
Hello, Bill. Last time I saw you, it seems to me that you had measles, didn't you?
Yes, Doctor.
Well, by George, you certainly look healthy now. A fellow like you ought to be a pretty good athlete. You go out for football?
Yeah, but I didn't make the team.
How about basketball?
I was out for basketball, too. But I only got in for a couple of minutes in the regular games.
Bill, I'd like to see you make one of our teams around here.
I'm trying, Doctor, but I guess I'm just too small.
Too small? Oh, Bill, I won't take that as an excuse.
But, Doctor, I'm not growing like the other fellas. I drink a lot of milk, and I always clean my plate every time. Why don't I grow like I should?
Bill, you are growing like you should. Your dad and mother aren't tall, and you're growing just like they did. You're a husky youngster, and a lot faster on your feet than some of these big clumsy kids who come in to see me. Are you out for the baseball team?
No.
Why not? Can you hit?
Sure I can hit.
I thought so. And what's more, you've got just the bill for a second baseman or a shortstop.
Oh, I'm not much good at sports.
The trouble with you is that you've been picking the wrong sports. Sure, I can see why you didn't make the basketball or football teams. You weren't tall enough, and you weren't heavy enough. But in baseball, it's a different story.
You really think so?
Bill, I'm really surprised that you aren't out for the team.
Well, I just decided I wasn't good enough.
You said yourself that you can hit.
In scrub games, I've knocked out some home runs.
There you are. I knew you were a hitter.
Yeah, but I don't think that Mr. Blake would want me on the team.
Why shouldn't he?
Oh, he picks the bigger guys.
But in baseball, it isn't size that counts so much as the fact that a fella can hit and that he's a good fielder. Now, they've only been practicing for a week, and there's still plenty of time for you to get out there and show him what you can do.
Well, maybe I will.
Maybe. Bill, I want you to go out for that team. I know a baseball player when I see one. I've played a lot myself. I always go out to see some of the games, and I'm counting on seeing you play.
All right, Doctor.
Now you're talking. We can certainly use another good player. You should have seen what baseball did for Bill Barnes. A few weeks later, he was the regular shortstop. I made it my business to go out and see their big game with Emerson. I was talking with Jim Blake, the physical education teacher, when Bill knocked out a two-base hit, stole third, and came home on a bunt. As the cheers died down, Bill came over to us, and Jim said,
Hey, that was nice going, boy.
Thanks, Mr. Blake.
That hit of yours tied up the score, and now you've got us ahead by a run.
Yeah, Jerry really fooled him with that bunt.
You know Dr. Bronson, don't you?
Hi, Doctor.
Hello, Bill. Are you sorry now that you went out for baseball?
Why should I be?
Jim tells me you're a pretty fair shortstop.
Well, Doctor, I guess I'll get by until a better one comes along.
Doctor, did I tell you that Bill has been elected captain of the team?
Captain?
Mm-hmm.
When did all this happen?
Well, Monty Lord was captain, but his folks moved away.
Well, congratulations. Darn it all, I'm proud of you.
Thanks, Doctor.
Say, Bill, Bob is up next, so you better go and coach third.
All right, Mr. Blake. I'll see you later, Doctor.
Good luck, Bill. Well, he's a good little player, isn't he?
Oh, he's a little firecracker. Always the first out for practice, always the last to leave. He's a good fielder, and he gets hits for us. No, not long hits, but, you know, the kind that count when we have men on base. Oh, I like that boy. He's a worker.
I like him, too. I came out here just to see him play.
Well, he's doing all right, isn't he?
Yes, sir. And no matter who wins the game, Bill can go home and feel proud of what he did today. I think this has solved the problem for a young lady that you know fairly well.
Oh? Who's that?
Our 8th grade teacher, Miss Clyburn.
Oh, yes, I know her quite well. Alice is a very fine teacher.
So I'm told.
And she said that Bill was acting up quite a bit in class.
But in my opinion, well, he's a very fine kid.
Well, now that he's doing such a fine job on the baseball team, I think that Miss Clyburn's problem is going to be a lot easier. I was right about Bill, as I thought I would be. Here was a boy who was small for his age, and who will always be small. But he found a sport in which he could excel. He even became captain of the team, and this was a wonderful incident in his life. I had a talk with Miss Clyburn later, and she said,
Oh, yes, Doctor. Bill Barnes behaves himself very well in class now. Still pretty lively, but he stopped all that clowning. You're the man who got him interested in baseball, aren't you?
How'd you know that?
Well, Doctor, sometimes when I put two and two together, it makes four. You know, when I sent him to you, he was quite a problem.
Miss Clyburn, all that boy needed was an activity in which he could win honor and glory. He's found it. And if we can continue to shift his interest into channels where he can excel, he'll come along all right. I've talked to his dad and mother, and they understand the problem now.
Oh, that's fine. Now, would you be interested in helping me with some more of my problem children?
Whom do you have in mind?
Well, there's Janet Holmes. She is the tallest girl in the class.
How's she doing in her studies?
Oh, she does beautifully. I couldn't ask for a better student. But she's so shy and retiring, and she doesn't mix very well.
You ask her to see me, Miss Clyburn, and possibly I can suggest something that will help her to overcome her shyness. I want you to know Janet Holmes, because there are so many girls like her. Will you form a picture in your mind of a girl who is taller than any other girl or boy in her class? She's very shy and nervous. She's rather pale, and she needs to gain weight. When Janet came into my office, she said,
Miss Clyburn asked me to see you, Doctor.
Yes, sit down, won't you?
All right, Doctor.
Would you mind telling me how tall your father is?
Oh, he's more than 6 feet. I think he said once that he's 6'3".
And your mother?
Mother's about 5'9". We're about the same size.
Well, Janet, it's only natural, of course, that you would be a little tall for a girl of your age.
Yes, of course.
Now, when you get into high school, you're going to find that some of the girls will grow to be as tall as you are, and some of the boys are going to be taller.
I hope so.
But in the meantime, there are some things that you ought to do to bring out your natural beauty.
Beauty? Oh, Doctor,
Janet,
I'm not...
you can become a very attractive girl if you make the effort. What time do you go to bed, as a rule?
Oh, I usually get to bed before 12.
Janet, do you stay up that late every night?
Almost every night. I like to read or listen to the radio.
Young lady, you're not getting enough sleep.
I suppose not. But I like to read, and when I get into the middle of a good book, well, I just hate to stop.
A girl your age should be in bed by 10 o'clock, or 10:30 at the latest, except on very special occasions.
But I'm getting good grades in school.
Good grades? Well, that's fine, but you're missing out on some other things, aren't you?
Missing out? On what, Doctor?
Because you're a little tall for your age, you're not very happy, are you?
Well, most of the girls don't like me, and... Well, I guess that's about it.
What about the boys?
Oh, they're all right, I guess. But they're just a bunch of little shrimps.
Some of them are going to be big shrimps in a few more years. Janet, I want you to come over here and look at yourself in this mirror.
Well, all right. I don't see why all this is necessary.
Turn just a little so you can see yourself sideways, won't you? That's it. You see, Janet, you've gotten into the habit of stooping so you'll look a little smaller.
Well, I don't care.
Oh, yes, you care, all right. Like so many tall girls, you are trying to look smaller, and so you're developing a slouch. That's the mistake, Janet. Now, won't you stand up tall and straight for me, like a girl in a wedding dress?
Like this?
Yes. And now try to smile, won't you?
Oh, Doctor, why do you ask me to do all this?
Because I want you to see how pretty you are when you really try. You see what I mean?
I think so.
Just because you're the tallest girl in your class, you let it bother you. It shouldn't. I know many young women who are much taller than you'll ever be, and most of them are very happily married.
But I'm so thin, and I don't have much color.
Well, now, will you ask Mother to take you to your family doctor? He may want to give you a prescription or a change of diet. That may help a lot.
All right, Doctor.
And Janet, please go to bed early and get a little better acquainted with your classmates. I think they'd like you a lot more if they knew you a little better.
Oh, Doctor, thanks for all this advice. I think you've given me some very good ideas.
Well, now, look here, young lady. I'm going to follow up on you, and I expect to see you looking very sharp when I come to your graduation in June. It was last February when I had this talk with Janet. She went to her family doctor, Dr. Gibbons, and he prescribed a diet that soon put a lot of weight on that girl. I wish you could see her today. A few days ago, Miss Clyburn came to me and said,
Doctor, I hope you won't mind, but I'm very curious about something.
"What is it?"
Well, when I sent Janet Holmes to see you in February, she was the most shy, timid, self-conscious girl in her class.
Yes, I know.
Well, and now, why, she suddenly blossomed into such a charming girl. Why, do you know they've elected her chairman of the dance committee?
No, I didn't know that.
Yes. Why, Janet's become one of the most popular girls in her class.
Well, now, isn't that what you wanted?
Well, yes, but, Doctor, how did you do it? Why, everybody talks about the change in Janet. She walks so gracefully these days. She holds her head high and her shoulders back.
Miss Clyburn, I'll be perfectly honest with you. In the first place, she's getting into adolescence, and so it's only natural that she would take more pride in her appearance.
Oh, but she was so thin and stoop-shouldered.
Well, you see, Dr. Gibbons gave her a diet that enabled her to gain about 10 pounds.
Yes, I know, but there must have been more to it than that, wasn't there?
All I did was to encourage her to take advantage of her natural attractiveness.
Natural? Oh, come now, Doctor. She used to be so thin and homely.
Miss Clyburn, every girl has charm if she'll only bring out her good features. Take you, for instance.
Me?
Yes, I saw you on the tennis court the other evening with our physical education teacher. Tennis is wonderful exercise for a young lady like you.
Why, Doctor, I'm a very poor tennis player.
Well, the exercise is good for you, and you managed to lose very gracefully.
Why, as if I could beat Jim Blake.
Jim's pretty good. Excellent tennis player, in fact.
Yes, I wish I were a better player.
You're doing all right.
Dr. Bronson, I see what you're telling me. Once we find a goal in life, we find a way to overcome physical handicaps. You see, because I'm so tall myself, I'm quite interested in Janet.
Your interest in Janet has helped her a lot. Jim's interest in you is doing a lot for you. I think that human interest and affection is the greatest factor in overcoming physical handicaps. And now let me tell you about a boy who was big for his age and gaining weight too fast. It wasn't until I saw this incident on the playground that I realized what was wrong.
Hey, what's the big idea? You get off him.
Hey, look who's talking. Little Billy Barnes. Go away before I take you on.
Why don't you pick on a guy your own size?
He's been calling me names I don't like, see?
Oh, yeah? Big guy like you picking on a little guy like him.
You aren't so big yourself.
I'm big enough to take you on.
Oh, yeah.
Get off him before I let you have it, big boy.
Now, wait a minute. What's the idea? You looking for a fight?
Sure, you want to fight?
Fight you? A little squirt like you? Oh, no. I might hurt you too much, and then you'd run back crying to teacher.
Come on, you big dope. Start something. I dare you to.
Oh, go away. I don't want to hurt you.
You won't fight with anybody your own size. Come on, pick a fight with me.
Drop dead.
You know what you are? You're yellow.
I am? Who says I am?
I do. Look, Frankie, you're big. But you weren't any good in football or basketball. You aren't good in anything. Why don't you drop dead, you dope?
This was only a little quarrel on the playground, and yet there was a lot to be learned from it. Here was Bill Barnes, the smallest boy in 8th grade, the boy who failed to make the football and basketball teams, but who was doing so well in baseball. Little Bill Barnes was so sure of himself now that he dared to challenge Frank Jones. Frank is big, but heavy for a boy of his age, and he's a bully in the way he conducts himself on the school grounds. He's mean to the boys who are smaller than he is, and yet he seems afraid to tackle boys of his own age. Let me explain what happened when Frank came to see me.
Miss Clybourne said I should see you.
Mm-hmm. Yes. What's your name?
Frank Jones.
Oh, yes, Frank Jones. My, what a big, husky boy you are. Gosh, we can certainly use a boy like you around here. I was talking to Mr. Hatfield a few minutes ago about a little crippled girl up on the second floor. She has to be helped up and downstairs. Could you help get her up to the classroom and down again?
I guess I could.
Well, Frank, I'm worried about her. She's only 9, and she's such a sweet little girl.
Yeah, I've seen her around. What do you want me to do for her?
We need a good, strong boy who can carry her up and downstairs. I think you're just right for the job, Frank. But, of course, if you'd rather not, maybe we can get the janitor.
Oh, no. I'll do it, Doctor.
Well, you look big enough and strong enough, but there isn't anything in it for you. Can't pay you a dime for doing this job.
What time should I be at school?
They bring her here in a car at 9:15. And if you could be waiting...
I'll be waiting.
Frank, that's swell. I thought I could count on you. I looked all around school thinking of a boy who could handle this job for us, and I think you're the guy.
Okay, Doctor. I think I could get her to the second floor and down.
She has to be carried down at 12 and again at 3:15.
Yes, I know.
You know, Frank, I'm glad I have somebody I can depend on to take over this responsibility. It sure helps to have a boy like you around here. Every morning at 8:45, Frank Jones was on the job. He carried the little Bowman girl up to the classroom and down again. The principal gave him other jobs, and he quickly became one of the most dependable boys in his room. The boy who was known as the bully in his class had changed completely. When his mother brought him into my office, I put him on a diet, and he lost a little weight. He wasn't able to compete with his classmates in sports, but he is now one of the best-behaved boys in Carver School. Children come in so many different sizes, and each has his own growth and development pattern. I am often surprised at the mistakes that mothers and fathers make. I remember a youngster who was brought to my office one day during a thunderstorm.
Darling, don't cry. It'll be over in a few minutes.
Oh, Mommy, I'm so afraid.
Betty, don't cry. Dr. Bronson?
Yes?
We're all alone here in your office, and there's such a bad storm.
Yes, come in.
I guess your secretary has gone to lunch.
Yes, she has, but come in. I'm ready to see you now.
Oh, Mommy, hold me tight.
All right, sweet. Bad storm we're having, isn't it?
Yes, but I think it'll blow over soon.
Oh, Mommy.
Now, darling, be quiet. I'm sorry, Doctor. I don't know why she's acting this way.
Betty, you aren't afraid of a little thunder, are you?
Yes.
Oh, I wish it would stop. I hate these storms.
It'll be over very soon. What did you want to see me about, Mrs. Williams?
Oh, it's about Betty. Mr. Williams wants you to look her over. She's such a nervous child.
Oh, Mommy.
Oh, I'm sorry, Doctor, but I'll just have to hold her for a while.
That's quite all right, Mrs. Williams. Perhaps we'd better postpone the examination until some other time.
Yes, I think we'd better. Doctor, would you mind drawing the shades? That lightning makes me nervous.
I cite this as a perfect example of how a child can be trained to develop a personality pattern through a parent. Little Betty Williams was afraid of lightning and thunder. So was her mother. Betty was a nervous child. So was her mother. Over and over again, the patterns of growth and development are repeated. The child tends to be small-boned. So are the parents. But there is so much that a father and mother can do for these children who are a little different once they realize that their children have the same problems that confronted them when they were children.
We again present Dr. William W. Bolton, speaking for the American Medical Association. Dr. Bolton.
There has developed in many schools the excellent medical and educational cooperation observed in the dramatic incidents just presented. It is a big aid in bringing out in children patterns for living that will let them partake more richly of life and make significant contributions to community progress. Promotion of this link between health and education is essential to solution of the problems of human relationship. All children do not grow at the same speed, and their ultimate growth is dependent at least in part upon hereditary factors. At all stages of growth, differences are found in height and weight, both between boys and girls of the same age and between children of the same sex and age. These variations tend to be greatest during periods of rapid growth, such as the age of puberty. As at least one of the incidents indicated, adjustment problems do not appear spontaneously as the child begins formal education. They are started many years in advance of the day when the child enters the new world of school authority plus parent authority. Although this transition is made as easy as possible in the great majority of schools today, it still represents an important testing time. It is obvious that his attitude will not be some brand new creation of the child's mind. No, children are human, despite the temporary doubts some people may have as they observe what can be described as unangelic conduct. And as humans, they are creatures of habit. If a child has acquired, for example, the habit of always having its way, of doing what it pleases, when it pleases, that habit will guide his conduct no matter where the child may be. And school is a new challenge, which such a child frequently accepts with desperate courage, and against which it fights unceasingly, at first openly, and then, as it learns bitter lesson after bitter lesson, secretly and by indirection. It is such maladjustments, set up long before school is even thought of, that may distort permanently an individual's attitude towards society. The solution is as simple as it is obvious, and most families know it well. It consists in showing the infant and child that it is loved and wanted, that it will be cared for and protected at all times, and in return it must be a contributing member of the family, standing on its own, sharing in household responsibilities, and the give and take of everyday living. If a child learns these habits, it will be well prepared for all phases of life. It will adjust easily to new situations and will accept readily helpful guidance such as that described in today's program. Home can be the pirate's plank along which the fearful child edges its blindfolded way towards the dreaded plunge, or it can be the springboard from which the child dives gleefully into education's swimming hole.
Doctors Today is presented by the American Medical Association through the facilities of the National Broadcasting Company and its independent affiliated stations. This program is presented on behalf of the thousands of physicians who are working night and day to protect and preserve the lives of 141 million Americans. The American Medical Association invites you to join us again next week to hear another report on the progress of medicine and surgery in America. Doctors Today, written by William J. Murphy, comes to you through the facilities of the National Broadcasting Company and the affiliated independent stations associated with the NBC network. The orchestra is under the direction of Bernard Berquist, with original music composed by Emil Soderstrom. The entire production is under the direction of Norman Felton. Heard in today's cast were Maurice Copeland, Bruce Shames, Tommy DeLeon, Jack Lester, Maureen Sears, Alan Price, Sharon Granger, and Pat Crane. Doctors Today came to you from Chicago. Your announcer is Hugh Downs. This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.